I would describe Fethullah Gülen as a very holy person, a spiritual leader, a beloved and revered teacher, um, a faithful and devout and pious Muslim, and most of all, a servant leader. I use Fethullah Gülen and Nursi in a class I teach on the ethic of service at Duke. And I love lifting him up as a modern example of a life lived in faithful service that is deeply rooted in the principles of the Islamic tradition. Gülen is a good example of how a life of service isn't always glorified. I think through a lot of faith-inspired servant leaders, as I would call them, we see people who give of themselves and for whom the world doesn't necessarily appreciate their gifts and their wisdom. We see that in people like Martin Luther King Jr., Dorothy Day, Joshua Heschel, people who were bright lights of service in the name of their traditions, but not necessarily recognized until years after their time on this earth. And I think Gülen and the Hizmet movement give us a glimpse of service and action, active service. I think they contribute greatly to humanity just on a very practical level. Refugee aid, relief for those in need, education. Education is one of the building blocks of life that helps people change their situation in their lives, and I think we see that through the schools in the system. I think that there are people, quite frankly, who just owe their lives to the movement through the medical care they've received or the opportunities they've gotten through their educations. And I think everyone who's involved in the movement and who has an opportunity to contribute in that way, it's a ripple effect of goodness that starts with serving others and then lifts up everyone through that service.